Live. My name is Shanieri Eze. I am a practitioner with Eze Health Center. I'm here today with Joray Williams. She is the podcast host of Melanin 360. Thanks, Joray, for being our volunteer for this evening. So basically, SculpSure is one of the newer revolutionary fat contouring body treatments. Essentially, what it is, it's a non-invasive fat loss treatment where we can target specific areas of stubborn body fat. Here at Eze Health Center, I provide a number of different services, including primary care medical weight loss. And then for the past 4 or 5 years, we've been offering non-invasive body contouring. So today we're going to do a live demo. Joray has been gracious enough to let us do a treatment on her. And we'll also be able to follow her progress over the weeks as she starts to shrink. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So just to give you an overview of SculpSure, it's a non-invasive fat reduction treatment. It helps reduce stubborn areas of body fat. So say if you've dieted, exercised, kind of done all you can to lose weight in certain areas, and it's still very difficult, this is an ideal treatment for it. In addition, because it's non-invasive, it's non-surgical, it's no downtime. So after your treatment, you can go on about your day without any major interruptions in your schedule. Again, this is a non-surgical procedure. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just to give you some basic points about SculpSure on the slide. A couple of basic things. SculpSure is a permanent fat reduction treatment. So essentially, when we destroy these fat cells, your body gets rid of them and it's gone forever. Okay. Another thing about it is the treatments are customized to your body. For each one of my clients, I do an individualized consultation to where I structure their treatment to their body shape and frame. So not every patient is not getting the exact same treatment. It's contoured specifically to your body. Another thing is it is safe for your skin. So even though we are using a laser heat, it only targets the fat cells underneath the skin. Those fat cells are destroyed and then they're eliminated from your body. The thing that I like the most about SculpSure is that you get very natural looking results. So when we do the contouring, it's going to treat the targeted area in addition to areas slightly surrounding that area as well. So it's very natural looking results. And also what's very important, it's FDA cleared and approved. So this is a treatment that is backed by research and science, okay? Another thing to understand is that the skin is, on the slide there, sorry, the first layer of skin, the laser is actually penetrating through there and going to the fat cells specifically. Those fat cells over time will get destroyed. We apply the laser with a mechanism that cools the first layer of skin while targeting and heating up the fat cells underneath. Those fat cells eventually are destroyed. And then over 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to see that reduction with about 12 weeks to your final results. Okay. So that's how SculpSure works in a nutshell. We're going to go ahead and get started with the demo. For those who are streaming live on Facebook, you are welcome to type in any questions or comments that you have. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer them live during our recording today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Joray, you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So I've already done Joray's pre-treatment photos. What we do here for all of our clients is that we do progress photos before your treatment, after your first treatment, and after your second treatment. Most clients will require at least 2 series of treatments done 6 weeks apart to get the best results. Another thing I do is we do your body composition as well. So before you leave, we're going to measure your total body fat, do a segmental analysis, as well as your water weight too. So that way we're going to track everything along the way. Okay. So I've already hooked Joray up here. We are doing just the mid-abdominal area. These are the 2 laser heads we're going to treat. It's going to also treat and I guess you can get it from a different angle here. It's going to treat about 2 finger lengths across the entire parameter here. So that's going to be an advantage too, because we can treat beyond the areas that are covered by the lasers alone. All right, so the first 4 minutes is our buildup phase. It's going to slowly start heating up those fat cells, okay? You're going to feel a little bit of heat. It's going to feel kind of like a tingling sensation when you first start. Okay. So the machine is very sensitive. So anytime we even lose contact for a second, it lets me know. So that's what I just readjusted there. All right. So the first 4 minutes is what we call the buildup phase. During this time, the laser's slowly heating up those fat cells. It's going to be cooling throughout the entire time, cooling on the surface of your skin. It's the heat that kind of comes on and off. And it's going to happen in intervals. A couple of seconds of heat, and then the heat stops. You'll feel the cooling. Then the heat comes again at a higher level until we get to that ideal, what we call fat destruction zone. Okay. Also, again, we're taking any questions from the audience. We are doing the SculpSure body contouring treatment today. All right. How do you feel, Jure?
I feel good. I can definitely feel the cool.
You can feel the cooling?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you feel a little bit of the heat too?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. You're doing great. So we're about a minute into your treatment. So the total treatment time is 25 minutes. Like I mentioned, the first 4 minutes is that build-up phase. So we're still in that phase. During the treatment, a lot of my clients just kind of relax. They're on their phones. I have a full, flat screen TV here. So some like to watch Netflix while their treatment's going on. So it's very relaxing. I don't need to use any sedatives, no anesthesia. It's not necessary. My patients are typically comfortable throughout the treatment. Feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
Awesome. Awesome. How would you describe the sensation that you're feeling?
It feels like a cool cloth and a heating pad.
Yeah.
Like
back to back. Yep. Yeah.
So where else can you get the SculpSure on your body?
Yes. So that is a good question. So SculpSure can be used anywhere there is what we call subcutaneous body fat. So in a nutshell, anywhere that the fat jiggles. So we can do the chin, we can do the arms, we can do back fat, what we call upper flanks, also the abdomen, the waist and love handles, inner and outer thighs. I've even done knees as well. There's some people that have areas of fat deposits around their knees. So anywhere there's excess fat, stubborn body fat, we can treat it. Yep. Yeah. So you've had, I think we've done one treatment on you before.
Yes.
And you got really good results.
I did.
From before. Yes. And then
along with everything else, like the diet and the meal plan and all of that.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So Jure, we started her on SculpSure. This was, I want to say about a year ago after her first treatment. And one thing that I do, because here at SA Health Center, I do medical weight loss as well. I do incorporate the weight loss program along with all of my SculpSure treatments. And we do that at no additional cost. So for 3 months, you basically get our weight loss program too. Usually, yes. yes. So you're going to feel the heat a little bit now. So what I do, I can give you a little extra cooling. Okay. And that helps it a little bit. All right. So I always tell my clients, just imagine the fat cells being burned up. So yes, with the SculpSure treatments, I do incorporate elements of our weight loss program. So we do the B12 lipotropic shots, the appetite suppressants. We have natural appetite suppressants. You do get a dietary plan as well. So one thing I always emphasize to my clients is that SculpSure is a cosmetic procedure. You still have to do the work. And what I mean by that is, moderate exercise, eating well, healthy lifestyle, all those things are still essential. This is more of an enhancement and complementary to that. This is ideal for any areas of stubborn body fat. Okay. Noticeable reduction. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks to start seeing changes, and then 12 weeks to see final changes. Okay. All right.
What happens to fat cells? Where do they go?
So yes, so the fat cells. So after today's treatment, essentially those fat cells will be destroyed. Over time, your body will absorb those dead cells and eliminate it. It's going to get absorbed by your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system eliminates it through your kidneys, and you're basically going to pee it out over a period of time. So it is those dead fat cells are excreted through your urine. You're not going to see anything unusual or anything that's abnormal when it comes to that. You'll just, be peeing a lot more. I tell my clients 3 things. With your treatments to maximize your results, you want to exercise or, stay active, drink plenty of water, and lightly massage the areas about 5 to 10 minutes a day for the first couple of weeks after your treatment. Okay. So that's what you'll do after today's treatment. Those 3 things: drink water, regular movement, and massaging the areas. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're about 6 minutes in on your total treatment. Doing okay so far?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So again, if anyone who is watching live has any questions, please do type that in the chat window. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. If there's anyone that's coming in just now to see what we're doing, I am doing a live SculpSure treatment with my volunteer here, Jure. SculpSure is a fat reduction body contouring treatment. It helps reduce stubborn body fat without any surgical intervention. So this is a non-surgical treatment. Okay. All right. So you're doing very well, Jure.
Thanks.
So yes. So the question I get a lot is, does it hurt? What does it feel like? I've had the treatment done myself a couple of times. And to me, it feels like a warm heat, almost like a squeezing sensation that lasts for a couple of seconds. And then afterwards cooling for a few seconds. So it's like a squeeze and then cooling. Okay. Kind of intervals of that. Would you describe it that way too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like heat, and right when it gets like almost too hot, the cooling comes.
Yeah. So everything is precisely timed. This has been highly researched. If at any point during the treatment, if anyone, if my clients get a little bit too uncomfortable, and you can tell me too, if you need a little extra cooling, and then, we'll go ahead and do that. It doesn't take away from your treatment at all. Makes you a little bit more comfortable for the time being, and then the treatment continues. Okay. So, we've been doing SculpSure now since 2017. Since that time, I've done over 300 procedures, and I can genuinely say we get about an 85 to 90% success rate with our clients in regards to targeted fat reduction. Part of the reason is we've developed a technique over the years to allow for a larger reduction of body fat. I do incorporate other things like lifestyle changes and elements of our weight loss program along with it. So SculpSure is a fat loss treatment. So when we combine the fat loss with additional tools to help you lose weight, it helps you get better results. The difference is when we do SculpSure, it's going to actually help reduce in the areas that we treated. A lot of times when we diet and exercise and do all these things, we don't basically have a choice where the fat or the weight comes off. But with SculpSure, we do have a little bit more control over specific areas that we can target. So that's the amazing thing about it. So I know, Jure, you've done the treatment before, got good results. We can certainly continue doing treatments, and each treatment you get smaller and smaller. So another question that I get is how many treatments maximum can you get? So typically the standard patient will only need about 2 series of treatments to get noticeable long-term results. You have the option of getting more. After about, I'd say about 4 treatments, whatever fat cells were going to respond to the laser have already been destroyed.
Okay.
So after about 4 treatments, I would say that'll be like the max. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it usually doesn't require multiple treatments. And SculpSure is a permanent fat reduction treatment. So that's the awesome thing about this.
And you said each treatment is about 25 minutes?
Each treatment, 25 minutes. So I can do multiple areas in a session. So Jeray, I'm treating your kind of middle abdominal area.
Mm-hmm.
But say if we were to also do your waist, I can also, after the 25 minutes on your abdomen, we move over to treat your waist.
Okay.
So we can kind of jump to different areas all in one session, but it's about 25 minutes per area of treatment. Mm-hmm. All right.
So how far are we now?
So we're about halfway through. So a lot of times it's just kind of sitting and waiting, but you're doing really well. So we'll, for those who are watching online on either our YouTube or Facebook, we will be posting a few of before and after photos of clients who've done the SculpSure procedure with us.
Do you get a lot of men?
Yes, we do get male patients as well, because men have fat too. They just don't have as much as we do. But yes, we get male patients that get really good results as well. The men tend to lose the weight faster. Their fat reduction turnaround time is a little faster too, because they tend to have a higher metabolism. But yeah, we see men too. Yep. So another kind of interesting area that we can also treat is underneath the chin. So I've had clients come to me concerned about double chin, or they've lost weight and their face still hasn't kind of gone down, and they want to have reductions of underneath the chin. So we do have a treatment for that as well. The thing that I like about doing the chin is that it literally changes almost the contour of the face, and people absolutely love it because their jaw lines are more defined. They don't have as much subcutaneous fat underneath the chin, and it just changes the entire look of their face. So we do treatments on the chin as well. And again, it's non-surgical. So we're not doing anything invasive, not doing anything that's going to require any downtime. So Jeray, even after your treatment today, you can go on about your day. You don't have to stay home and recover. I know my last treatment I did literally during my lunch break between seeing patients. So it really was that simple. 30 minutes and I was done,
Yeah, that's a lunch break.
That's a lunch break. Yeah. Yeah, they call it literally the lunch break fat treatment. So because it's so quick.
May have already addressed this. How much does it cost? And is any of the treatment covered by insurance?
So good question. So I did get a question online asking the cost of the treatment and also if it's covered by insurance. So SculpSure is considered a cosmetic procedure. It is not covered by insurance. However, we do have payment plans available through Care Credit. Typically, our clients use that as an option. As far as the cost, it will vary from client to client. So it depends on how many areas you want to treat and also how many treatments you want done. So that's why I mentioned earlier about doing individualized consultations. I do consultations for free. And that way I can give you individualized pricing based on those factors. How many areas you want done, as well as how many total treatments of those areas you want done. So it will vary. I will say that right now we are running a promotional special. We call it the single for $6. It's actually an ongoing special that we have for a lot of our clients, to where you can get a single spot area of treatment. which is about this amount of space, and we can, kind of configure it differently for a single price of $600. Okay, so I will say that's kind of the starting range for this treatment. Okay, all right. So we are past the halfway point. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that tends to be a little relaxed, and I've had clients actually fall asleep during their treatment.
I can see that.
Yep. Typically, I wouldn't, for the sake of today's demo, I have the bright lights on, but typically I have very dim lights in here, and I play spa music as people are getting their treatments done. So I try to make it very relaxing. I'm in here the entire time you get the treatment. So essentially, we want you to be as relaxed as possible. People get a little nervous before starting the treatment, but it's usually a lot more relaxing as you go through it. Okay. All right. So for those who are just tuning in, today I'm doing a live SculpSure treatment. SculpSure is a non-invasive fat reduction treatment that is ideal for various areas of stubborn body fat on the body. We can treat the chin, the arms, the upper abdomen, lower abdomen, back fat, the waistline, as well as the inner and outer thighs. So several various areas of the body can be treated. So we are about halfway, we'll pass the halfway point of Juray's 25-minute treatment. We've got roughly about 12 minutes left. Okay.
And so how far apart are treatments 1 and 2?
Yes. So treatments 1 and 2 is about 6 weeks apart.
Okay.
Yeah. So we allow after that first treatment, and by the way, you will see changes after this first treatment.
Okay.
But it is 6 weeks apart.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit more cooling. You're doing really well. So yeah, others have described it as when you feel a little bit of that heat, like doing an ab crunch.
Yes.
It has that sensation,
like a muscle burn.
like a muscle, yeah, like your muscles are really working. So.
And you said this is all FDA approved as well.
Correct. So it is FDA cleared, and that's actually a really important thing to understand. There are a lot of fat treatments out there. However, there's only a handful that can genuinely say that they're backed by research. So it's very important when making a decision in regards to what you do or where you go for your fat reduction treatment, that it is backed by science. Some are just more visual, where, temporarily you may see a reduction in that area, but it will require you to get multiple treatments to keep that up. With SculpSure, you will not have to do that. Typically, after your 2 series of treatments, it is permanent fat reduction. It doesn't really require more unless you do want to get more treatments. But it's not going to require multiple treatments back to back to maintain the results. Another question I get actually is, what happens if after you get the SculpSure treatment, you have the fat reduction and, later on down the line, you were to gain weight? Well, I can testify to the fact that I've had the SculpSure treatment. I got down to a certain size, definitely saw the results. And then COVID hit this past couple of, we're going on 2 years now. And then I have gained weight since then. However, my body does not look the same as before SculpSure. As many of the women out there may be able to relate, after having babies, that lower abdominal area is tough to get down, even with exercise, diet, and everything. So SculpSure is very ideal for those problem areas. And even though I've gained the weight, I still look smaller than before I had the SculpSure treatment in that area. It's just those pockets of body fat have just not come back. They're gone. So that's the advantage of it.
Oh, that's good.
For sure. So yeah, whatever fat cells we get rid of today, they're gone forever.
Bye-bye.
That's good to know, right? Yeah. So that's what I really like about SculpSure. The company Cynosure, who developed this technology, I mean, they make sure they're on the cutting edge. They're usually here to make sure that everything I have in my system when I'm doing treatments are updated and secure and safe. They have exquisite customer service in regards to keeping me up to date on what's going on. What are the, the latest techniques and things that are offered through this machine. It really is a very reputable company. So that's one thing that I did research even before I started doing these treatments, is to make sure that it came from a solid company, and it definitely does.
And you've been doing it for how long?
Since 2017. So, yep, going on about 4 years now.
Okay.
And so we've definitely, like I mentioned earlier, I've done over 300 procedures with about a 85 to 90% success rate with my clients.
Okay.
Yep. So people are very pleased. I had a woman the other day. She was just shocked, seeing her before and after photos, because the treatment itself, it takes some time to start seeing the changes. But when I have my clients come back for their consultation and show them what they look like before SculpSure and then what they look like now, it's just like, wow, like they see it, like it's so drastic, So it's definitely an awesome thing. And really the way things are going now with these type of non-invasive procedure, this is the kind of move of the future. More and more people are kind of opting out of surgery and going under the knife. I mean, especially with all that's going on now, you really don't want to endure that if you don't have to. Now that we have options like this, right? Yeah. Back in the day, if you wanted to get rid of stubborn body fat, you had to go under the knife. You had to get liposuction. You had to do all these other more invasive, more high risk things. But things like SculpSure, you don't have to go under the knife. All right. So we have about 4 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Almost done.
Almost done. Okay. Yes. So if there's any other questions on the live chat, and anyone who's just tuning in now, we are doing a SculpSure non-invasive fat reduction treatment. It is non-invasive body contouring for areas of stubborn body fat throughout the body. We can treat multiple areas, including the chin, the arms, the upper and lower abdomen, the waist, the back, and the inner and outer thighs. So SculpSure is only, let me repeat the question. The question was, does SculpSure do skin tightening too? SculpSure does not do skin tightening. However, in some cases we do notice slight tightening of skin. Because it only targets the fat cells, it bypasses the skin. But because of the heat, we may see some tightening. Now, I do provide another type of laser treatment called SculpSure that is for skin tightening. It's also for cellulite reduction, fine lines, and wrinkles. So I do provide those services. It's called SculpSure Envy. It's a different machine and laser. So look out for that demonstration. The reason I like that one in particular is because we see results almost immediately. So look out for that demo. We'll be doing those hopefully in the next few weeks or so.
You need a model, I'm here.
You want to? Okay. So we'll do skin tightening too. Jeray is the lady. All right. So we've got about a minute left. Okay. So smooth sailing.
Yes, that was painless and actually relaxing.
Relaxing, yeah.
Mhm.
So I find, like I mentioned earlier, some of my clients actually fall asleep during their treatments because of that warm heat. They feel very comfortable. So it's a good thing. And then, of course, after your treatment today, you can go on about your day.
Okay.
So I'd also like to mention that even though we're using a laser heat, it is not going to discolor or cause any issues or bruising on the skin. So even as she finishes today, I'm going to remove the lasers and we can see clearly that there's no marks or issues with the outer layer of your skin. Okay, we're down to less than a minute. Very good. So, feeling all right?
Yes, I feel great.
Excellent, excellent. So yeah, SculpSure is definitely an awesome treatment. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been doing SculpSure treatment since 2017. It is a non-invasive fat reduction treatment. We've done here at a health center over 300 procedures with about an 85 to 90% success rate with our clients. So after today's treatment with Jure, well, there you go. That's the magic sound there. We are done. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and unhook these lasers. Perfect. And what I want you to do is actually feel your skin and describe to me what you feel.
It feels cold.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like it doesn't feel weird or anything.
Right.
So,
yep. Yep. So that's that intervals of cooling and heat, and then the cooling at the very end just kind of eases the skin.
Yes.
But no bruising, no swelling.
No.
I mean, everything looks very good.
Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So that concludes today's demonstration of the SculpSure. Is there any other questions from the audience?
Yes. Jamie wants to know what's the average fat loss per treatment?
Very good question. So our expectation per treatment is up to 25% reduction of body fat per treatment. So at its best, we may see a 50% reduction of body fat in the targeted areas that we treat. Yep, we see a significant and noticeable amount of fat reduction. Okay. Are there any other questions from the audience? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. For those who missed the live stream and are watching this on the replay, if you have any questions, you are free to enter those questions in the comment area on Facebook or on YouTube, and we'll be sure to answer those questions for you. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Take care, everybody.